we are an inclusive state and that our cultural diversity is actually a strength. And having and welcoming the Afghan refugees adds to that overall long-term historical cultural diversity that we all celebrate in the state. I'll make the last pitch. We raised $1.5 million in 10 days. We will need more funds, as the governor referenced. You can go to the website, the Afghan Relief RI website. You can also go to the rifoundation.org website and give directly. We welcome contributions of all sizes, and I know that many Rhode Islanders, now knowing about this, will step up. So again, thank you all for coming. Together, we can do almost anything. The governor is leading us through many, many different initiatives that we need to take us into the future. Yes, we're still wearing masks, but we can still get things done. Thank you very much, and I think Alana is managing questions.
Open it up to some questions from the media about this announcement.
In a state with a decided lack of housing, where would you house Afghan refugees? Where would they go?
Perhaps the speaking program would like to just stand up at the front of the room as we address the questions. Do you mind repeating, Steve?
Where to go? Where would Afghan refugees be accommodated?
Well, I'll let Kathy mention that, but I believe that houses of people of volunteering space, as one of the options, and I believe that there's the flow of the individuals that are coming into the state are going to come in over a period of time, so we feel as though that, at least that's what I've been told, that we'll be able to handle it through people stepping up, providing housing as volunteers, and we encourage that, as well as placing people in apartments for a period of time.
I need you to front of the microphone.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
I was just going to add that in addition to the temporary housing that we sought, we are looking to rent homes across the state. Normally we try to find affordable housing, generally in Providence, for refugees when we resettle them. This time we're paying market rates, which was the need for fundraising. We're paying market rates across the state. So we're asking folks with second homes or homes that they own that are currently empty, if they would consider at least renting for the next year or so. Thank you.
Question? Unlike many past refugees who were victims of perhaps natural disasters, economic situations, in this case there's an active political threat and a security threat for many of these brave people who acted in support of American interests overseas. What type of security accommodations are being made for these folks, and what type of privacy are we attempting to maintain as they join us here in the now?
I don't want to take the mic over here, I'm sorry. So we are maintaining the individual privacy of the arrivals. We will not share their information unless they ask that of us. Amin particularly has asked us to share his information because he has a message and he really wants to advocate on behalf of his countrymen as well. And so, again, to the extent possible, we will protect folks. There are a lot of arrivals that will not want to be talking to the press because they do have family in Afghanistan and are concerned about the safety of their family.
Thank you. Will the Department of Homeland Security be involved at all in protecting the Department of Homeland Security be involved at all in protecting these individuals, but given again the prominent nature they held in the defense of American interests?
I'm not aware.
Yeah, I wouldn't. All I know is that certainly the federal government has taken an interest by providing different types of programs through an act of Congress. If we need that help, we'll call them. But we've got good security in the state of Rhode Island. You're going to be very, very safe. So.
Will we hear from the gentleman? We'd love to hear from
We're going to invite Amin up now to speak.
I was also, well, Amin is coming up. I was also going to follow up. We have a very strong relationship with the local FBI office, And so if there are any concerns, we'll reach out to them as well.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Amin Fakiri, and I come from a remote village in Afghanistan. I was 17 years old when I started working as an interpreter for the United States military and then the United States government in different parts of Afghanistan. The United States military and the government did a lot for the Afghan people. They installed a democratic government, and I mean, everything was happening in Afghanistan. The people were happy, people were liberated, and women had their rights, men and everybody had their rights. The Taliban were still fighting the Afghan government. We were just not able to hold on to the government, and the government was overthrown, and more than 1 million people in Afghanistan worked for the United States government, supporting the U.S. mission in Afghanistan. So after the government was overthrown, the lives of those people, as you all know, were in great danger. They were gonna, get caught by the Taliban and, get killed, because that was the obvious message of the Taliban, that people who have served for the United States government have no place in Afghanistan anymore. So right now, over 75,000 Afghans have arrived in the United States, in different parts of the United States. About 10,000 are, in the cities like Rhode Island, like Amen, and many are still at the military camps at different parts of the United States. So I want to thank everybody, all the foundations, the U.S. government, the U.S. military, for putting up the Operation Allies Welcome, and bringing the Afghan allies to the United States and making them feel like home. When I was at the military camp, I was volunteering as an interpreter, helping my people in the U.S. Air Force as an interpreter. And when I arrived here in Rhode Island, I was so warmly welcomed that I did not feel like I'm anywhere away from my own home. So I would like to thank the Dorcas Internationals, my friend Jonathan Bader, Umar Ba, and so many other people, the reporters who came to the airport, and the host family has been amazing. There is a family that's hosting us here in Rhode Island. They have been so amazing. They have not let us do anything. They are the ones who is like taking care of everything and who has stepped up for us. So I would like to ask the donors and the foundations that are working here in Rhode Island to open up their housings for the evacuees as they're arriving in Rhode Island. Housing is a big challenge, so I want to call on those people to please open up your houses and let the Afghan evacuees stay there and give them a good feeling, because we went through a very traumatic situation while coming to Afghanistan, and it was not easy for us to go through all that, because we had an in-place government, and that was overthrown by the Taliban and by the bad political decisions of both sides. So the people of Afghanistan who were serving, they did not do anything bad. They just were serving, and they kept on serving. So people who have arrived here, most of them are U.S. allies, people who have worked shoulder to shoulder for the U.S. government and the military in Afghanistan. So at the end, I would like to thank Umar Ba, Baha Sadar, my friend Jonathan, the governor, and everybody that's here in this room, and I don't know their names, the reporters, and it's just been so amazing for my family and for us. We have been so warmly welcome, and it's been a pleasure being here in Rhode Island, and I'm looking at starting a small life here and moving on to bigger things. So thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Welcome. I think that said about it all. Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah, welcome to Rhode Island.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's a pleasure.
people are very, very generous here.
It's a pleasure
Yeah.
being here. Yes, the people have been so generous. I had many other things to talk about, but I think that's
You said it well.
took a long time for me, guys. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, one more question.
including Amin and his family, it's 19, counting the family coming on Thursday. They haven't arrived yet.
And sorry, just to follow up on that, I think you mentioned 250 we're expecting. Is that both Dietip and Dorcas?
Yes, yes. We're splitting it almost in half, 100, 150.